Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video we're doing something a little bit different that we haven't featured on our channel so far. So it's not an intake, not an exhaust system, not suspension, not differential, not turbo, software, any of that stuff. We're actually going to be upgrading the seats in this Mark 7 Golf R and also installing a rear cage as well with some 6-point harnesses. So we're going to be installing the Tillett seats, which are carbon fiber, fiberglass seats. Also a rear cage because the customer wants to use some TRS harnesses, and obviously you need the harness mount for the shoulders, which is why we're going to be doing this, installing some plates into the car so we can have some other mounting points for the harnesses as well. So let's get the factory seats removed and then we'll grab out the Tillett seats and then talk to you a little bit more about the differences between the two. As mentioned before, we have the OEM seat here and we have the Tillett B10 seats about to be fitted to the car. So before we get them in, we thought we'd talk you through some of the problems with the original seats and obviously some of the benefits with the Tillett seats. So problem that a lot of customers have on the track is obviously once you upgrade the suspension, put some sticky tires on it, the factory seats don't really actually support you in many different ways. So if I just sit in this one quickly, I'll just demonstrate exactly the problems that you face. So on the OEM seats, the side bolsters don't really support you. So say for example, your legs will be flying about. I know after I've done a few track days in our Mark 7, I'd have bruises on my left knee because you'd literally be using your left knee to support your whole body when you'd be going around right-hand corners. So you're kind of flying about absolutely everywhere. As well as that, under braking, you tend to sort of fly forward within the seat. As well as that, around the shoulders and the torso, it's not particularly well supported as well. It's an incredibly sort of like soft and flimsy seat. And it's obviously quite heavy as well. So that's sort of like the problems you have with the original seats. And the Tillett seats, I didn't really think was really an option for a road car or a track car. But after sitting in, I believe it was the B8s at Players Classic with R44 Performance that they had in their F80 M3, I felt as though around the sides they supported really, really well and didn't restrict sort of like the wider shoulders as well. So despite being a seat that doesn't look particularly very comfortable, it was actually extremely comfortable because it was supporting you in different ways. So big benefit with these Tillett seats, and particularly the B10s that we've gone for on this build, is that you can retain the 3-point factory seat belt in the car. So what you have with other seats on the market is that you don't have this particular cutout here. And if you don't have this cutout here, what you have is the lap belt goes over the top of the seat. And if you do get into a situation whereby you have an accident or something like that, the belt will actually crunch down on the seat and it could potentially crack the seat, which is obviously what you don't want. So these B10s have a nice cutout here. So you can run with a 3-point factory seat belts. But also on this build, we're going to be upgrading to a 6-point harness, which this is fully functional with as well. So this seat is carbon fiber and glass fiber, and also has the optional seat cushions. So Tillett have very kindly made a cloth for this particular one with some leather on the outside, which matches the Golf R's interior quite nicely and also gives you a little bit more cushioning. And the big thing that I noticed with the Tillett seats is when you sit in them, I guess because they probably come from more of a karting background, it holds you around more of the torso rather than relying on the shoulders. So if you do have slightly wider shoulders, like myself perhaps, where like a pole position or something like that, on a long journey it tends to like crunch you forward and you get sort of like bad shoulders, this is going to be a really, really nice seat. And I think really you need to sit in one of these to sort of realize how actually comfortable they are. So as well as the Tillett seat here, we've obviously got the mandatory side mounts which go on the side of the seat. So when you order a seat, you basically need ideally 4 things. So you need the seat, you need the side mounts, and you need the base frames at a minimum. And then also on most of these builds as well, we'll go for sliders as well, so you can move the seats backwards and forwards. So the sliders is how you get your backwards and forwards adjustable. Base frames is obviously what you mount the seat to, and as you can see with these SW Motorsport ones, you can mount it in multiple different positions, backwards and forwards, but obviously if a car you're using on the road and the track, you want to have it adjustable. And then angle wise for your legs and your bum, we have a multiple different arrangements on the side mount, so you can get the up and down, whether you want it sort of like a little bit straighter, whether you want your legs up in the air, to add that little bit more comfort as well. So on this particular assembly, you're looking at dropping around 5.5 kilos side to side, and that is with the sliders, which weigh about 2 kilos. So if you want to drop another 2 kilos per side, chuck the sliders in the bin. And then also, if you want to drop a little bit more weight as well, you can opt for no cushions. But yeah, this is going to make the car feel absolutely incredible. This is obviously going to reduce the weight, and then also it's going to make you feel much more connected with the vehicle as well, because you've got rid of all of that OEM cushioning that just is not supporting you, and obviously the OEM seat, which the design really leaves a lot to be desired on a track car. So what we've got to do now is get this fitted to the car, get the harnesses mounted up, and away we go. Okay, so we've got the cage mounted in the back of the car, and if you remember earlier on in the introduction, the reason why we've maintained the rear seats and the rear bench is because this particular customer is in a competition class, which means he has to maintain the rear seats. So he opted for a half cage because obviously he wanted to run some aftermarket seats to obviously make him inside the car a bit more secure, and also lighter weight from the seats as well. So he also has some 6-point harnesses, and to mount the harnesses over the shoulders, you need somewhere to mount them. So that's where we've got the harnesses mounted to this harness bar going along the back. And then you can see there's some rollover protection. One of the mounting points is just behind the seats, and then another one is onto the rear end of the vehicle just here. And then let's head into the front of the car and show you the seats. So we've got the Tillett seats and the TRS harnesses on the inside of the car. So let's jump inside and see what it's like. So with this particular seat and harness setup that we've got, we can actually retain the standard seat belt. So standard 3-point belt still works absolutely perfectly fine. So you don't have to worry about using any of the harnesses. Like if you want to just go on like a short drive down to the shops or like a 5-minute journey, something like that, you don't have to put all the harnesses on. And then obviously sometimes it takes a little bit of period of time to get them on, but obviously at track days and things like that, you can get the harnesses on, which is really simple. So you literally just pull up this buckle, and this retains the various different mounting points. So you've got 2 of the points in here, and then you put in your side mounts, which I need a little bit more space on. So you basically just pull this like this, and then you pop that in there. Do the same for the other side, just pop it in here. And then we've got the shoulders as well. You do exactly the same thing, where you pop it inside, grab the other one, pop it in, and then obviously you can see it's quite slack at the moment, and then we would basically just tighten these up so they're all nice and tight. If I could find find the bits and pieces next to me, but obviously if this was your own car, then you would have everything preset already, so it'll be nice and comfortable. So yeah, the only thing we've got to do now is just hand the keys over to the customer. We'll get him in for a seat fitting so we can make sure the height and the tilt is all set up nicely, and obviously all the harnesses are all set up properly for him as well. So yeah, let us know if you've got any questions in the comments or anything like that. I'd be happy to answer. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch other videos of ours that YouTube thinks you'll like, then click up here. If you'd like to watch some other videos that we have in the same playlist, then click here. And obviously if you enjoyed the video, then we really appreciate if you gave us a subscription, and then obviously you'll be updated when other videos of ours go live, and you can do that quite easily by clicking here. Hope to see you soon.